We have Kirsten NAFSA, the Senior Education Advisor with Education USA in Saudi Arabia. And we have Cheryl Del-Lagood, Executive Director of English USA. The format is going to be, they're going to give a presentation. It's going to be a little, maybe around 20 minutes, and then we're going to open it up to questions. Now remember, an open meeting is normally just a dialogue, a place for you to ask questions, share your experiences, share what you've witnessed happening on your campus. And we still encourage you to do that, even though we are now in this setting instead of sitting around a table together. So even though we're this more formal setup, we encourage you to still act as if this is a dialogue. So we will be going around. Anyone who wants to speak, we can give you the microphone and go from there. So thank you for coming, and we'll go ahead and get it started. So first, Kirsten's going to come up and talk about her work. Or you can sit there.
I don't know if it's so much a presentation of a dialogue, right? So first of all, my name is Kirsten NAFSA. I am with Education USA in Saudi Arabia. I'm Senior Education Advisor for Saudi Arabia. I'm located at the U.S. Embassy in Riyadh. I've been there about a year, and it's been an experience. It's been a lot of fun. As you know, Saudi Arabia sends a large number of students to study abroad around the world. The majority of them choose the United States as their study destination. The majority of them need IEPs before they start their academic studies. It's the fourth leading place of origin for international students in the United States, and it's by far the #1 sending country from the Middle East. Many of these students, or the large number of students in the U.S. is mainly attributed to the Kingdom Dual Scholarship Program. I'm going to talk very briefly since I know most of you know about it. But it started in 2005. It's a robust program. It covers tuition fees, monthly expenses. It's a fantastic scholarship for Saudi students. It has been renewed twice. It's been renewed through 2020. The name of the scholarship has changed to the King Abdullah Scholarship. No. I wish it was still there, because that's what we need to say. It's the custodian of the Two Holy Mosques Scholarship Program. We don't have shorthand for it yet. I just call it the government scholarship program. So that has been renewed through 2020. There's been a lot of change happening in Saudi Arabia. And before I go any further, I just want to just put it out there. I am not SACMA by any means. I'm not the Ministry of Education. I'm Education USA, and I just try to follow the trends. A lot of my job is listening and finding puzzle pieces to put together a picture of what's happening in Saudi Arabia. It's kind of challenging because sometimes I put the pieces together and then someone comes around and shakes up my whole board and I have to start over. So I'm not the official source, but I will try to provide some insights. So some of the big changes, I think it's helpful to look, I have kind of a macro perspective of Saudi Arabia, and I think it's helpful to know this perspective because it might help explain some confusion that you might be experiencing. So in January 2015, there's a new king. Saudi Arabia is an absolute monarchy, so when a new king comes around, things are going to change. The biggest change, some of the biggest changes, was the Ministry of Higher Education and the Ministry of Education. There were two separate ministries. They were large, autonomous. They had their own structure. They had their own budgets. These ministries were combined. So now there's one Ministry of Education. It covers all secondary and tertiary education. This caused a lot of change within the kingdom. If you think about it, there's new reporting structures, there's new websites, there's new email addresses, there's duplicate positions. A lot of confusion came because of this change. Another big change was there's a new Minister of Education was appointed over this newly combined ministry. The new Minister of Education was appointed in February 2015. And then in November 2015, the king appointed a new Minister of Education. So there's been multiple changes in leadership at the Ministry of Education within the past year, in addition to the new king and the new combined ministry. So with that in mind, I just want to really stress that the pace of change in Saudi Arabia is much different than what you may expect in the United States. The pace of change is a little bit slower, it's gradual. Inshallah is used all the time in conversation, God willing. I don't know how many times I've had meetings o'clock, right? And we say, yeah, 9 o'clock, inshallah. No, 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock, inshallah. So just be aware that you may expect, you may be used to having change agents or websites that are updated regularly with updated information or policies. Adjust your expectations a little bit and be prepared to be patient, and inshallah you will get this information. Okay, also one other change, I'm not going to talk too much about it, but oil prices, I'm sure you're all aware, those have changed dramatically from last year to this year. Saudi Arabia, 80 to 90% of their revenue comes from oil prices. Okay, so let's go briefly into the scholarship. The scholarship has a new focus. Previously, it was all about, well, not all about, but mainly a lot about cultural exchange and improving relationships between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia. With the new minister, there's been a new focus on the scholarship. It's all about linking scholarship opportunities with the economic needs of the kingdom. So they have a new slogan, it's called Your Scholarship, Your Career. And with this new change, the Ministry of Education has incorporated Saudi organizations into the scholarship. So how it works is a Saudi student will apply for the scholarship through the Ministry of Education. The ministry will filter the applicants based on their qualifications, GPA, Quran exam, and then the ministry will send them out to these partner organizations. For example, Saudi Airlines. Saudi Airlines interviews these candidates, do some assessments, and they say to the applicants, hey, we think you're a great applicant, we think you're going to be a great employee after you finish your studies. We're going to hire you when you get back. Then they tell the ministry says, great, we're going to award a scholarship to the student. They go to the U.S. or anywhere around the world, they complete their studies, and the idea is when they complete their studies, they come back to Saudi Arabia with a guaranteed job. So that's one big change that has happened. So with that comes another layer of bureaucratic steps. So it used to just be within the ministry they could award these scholarships, but now they're including all of these different partner organizations, and it has delayed the selection of students for the scholarship significantly. Usually in November we were told, hey, we have our new scholarships for the year, we want you to come to the orientation and give them a pre-departure orientation. November came and went, we didn't hear anything, we were like, oh my gosh, terrible news, scholarship. But it's just been a longer selection process. So that has delayed students going to the U.S. or abroad. Another rumor that we heard a lot about over the past year was that language studies was being removed. I talked to the Ministry of Education in SACM, and this is not true. The language study is still included. It's for 12 months of language study. That's been typical, 12 months language study, and then they have the option, if they're meeting certain criteria, they have the option to extend another 6 months for a total of 18 months of English language study. To get students from the scholarship, you need to be on an IEP-approved university list, or I guess not university, IEP-approved list through SACM. And then something to think about with the future, and I'll wrap up. There is some transition happening. You may not be sure what's going on in Saudi. You may be concerned about recruiting in Saudi Arabia, but I would say you should still really keep Saudi Arabia in your recruitment strategy. The population in Saudi Arabia, there's a huge demographic bulge that is coming. Half the population is under the age of 25. This young population will be in need of higher education, and many of them will need to seek this abroad. And if they can't do it through the custodian of the Two-World Scholarship Program, they have funds on their own, and at some point they decide, you know what, if the government's not going to pay it, maybe I'll pay for it for myself. So just keep that in mind in your strategies, and that if you're looking to go to Saudi Arabia to recruit, the next opportunity will be IECHE. It's an international student recruitment fair. There was some rumor that it was going to happen in November 2016. That has since been updated. It's now April 2017, back to the original time. last year IECT was canceled, but it hasn't officially been announced, but we are planning April 2017. So we hope to see many of you there. And I did do a webinar about the Saudi Arabian education landscape a month or two ago. There's a copy of it. I've heard it's been helpful, so if you would like a copy, please come up afterwards or send